On March 23rd, I got a last-minute invite from Ross from Polestar Minneapolis to come and check out the Polestar Precept concept vehicle, so I immediately found a babysitter and made my way up to North Minneapolis to Quincy Hall, which is a event center, and took a look at this rare vehicle. Polestar announced the Precept last year, and it was intended to be an announcement at the Geneva Auto Show, but COVID shutdowns meant that was a virtual presentation that kind of fell under the radar. It was good, I just don't think a lot of people noticed that it happened. At the time, it seemed like it was just a concept, but now they say they are going to bring it into production in 2025. So still quite a ways out, but we got to have some of the questions answered and see the original mock-up model for it. So let's take a look at the Precept, its siblings, and where it seems that Polestar is headed. We'll have to do this in voiceover since there was music playing at the event. But first up through the door was the Polestar 1, a beautiful first vehicle as they separated from Volvo. This plug-in hybrid has over 600 horsepower, James Bondish styling, and a $150,000 price tag. They didn't do a big production run of them, hence the cost and exclusivity. It's a cool car though, and fun little features like the charging and hybrid cables in the trunk. Note the door handles on this vehicle though. We'll come back to that later. Next, they had a couple Polestar 2s there and several in the parking lot, but Polestar 2 is their first all-electric vehicle, 4 doors, mass-produced, and a more approachable starting price of $45,900 before any tax incentives. I've got a first look video on the Polestar 2 with my driving experience and more. It's a nice car that I think cross-shops well with the Tesla Model 3 for the right buyer. Next in their lineup will be the Polestar 3 SUV, but that wasn't here and we won't learn more about it until later this year, with deliveries probably next year. Finally, we get to the main event, the Polestar Precept. We'll do a walk around here and then get into some photos for more details after we hear from Ross. But overall, the design is strikingly beautiful.
My name is Ross. I'm the space manager for Polestar Minneapolis. First of all, we appreciate you all coming today and taking a look at what Polestar's future looks like. As you all can see, we've got the Polestar Precept here. What we're trying to do and accomplish with this new future design language is continuing to build towards the sustainability of the brand and end up doing something that hopefully we'll have no virgin plastic in the car and will be able to be recycled long term. Thank you all for being here tonight. We're really excited to have the Precept. It's not often this car travels, so the fact that it did get, we did get lucky enough to have it is really, really special. Very, very shortly we will be in our own space at West End. And when that happens, we'll throw another kind of party.
Ross brought up a cool point that's a good place to start as we get into the details. The plan is for all the composites, fibers, and plastics in the Precept to be recyclable. Seats, dash, door panels, and accents. It's a great goal that I hope they can hit. Now let's take a look around the exterior. We'll start with the sharp-looking front end with the split Thor's hammer headlights, and something deceptive. A front wing to improve airflow, similar to the Jaguar I-Pace, but much wider. You can hardly tell it's there unless you look from the right angle. Since we're up above here, let's take a look at the LiDAR array, this teardrop shape above the windshield. I was told that will be integrated into the windshield and not an add-on piece as they plan for autonomous features in 2025. Another alteration will have to be made. There's no B-pillar in the car, and although that openness looks amazing in this concept, I'm told the production Precept will have a traditional 4 doors like the Polestar 2, but the flush door handles like we see here and on the Polestar 1. Yet to be determined will be the use of cameras in place of mirrors. Hopefully regulators will allow this, as they're planning on using this for both the side mirrors and the rear view. Using the camera in the rear view mirror opens up trunk space and headroom since there's no glass back window and structural supports can be moved. If the cameras and screens can't be used, expect big changes to this great-looking back end, and probably the back seats. But I like the implementation of the side screens into the door panels. I feel like they'd be really easy to get used to. On the interior, there's a lot of backlit fiber material that looks cool, but might be a bit much day to day. I imagine that'd be subdued or off while driving. The steering wheel and screens look very similar to the Polestar 2, only with a much bigger center screen. It looks really good now, but I'm not sure how it will age into 2025. With so many screens in cars now, fashions may evolve by then. I do like the clean simplicity of it, though. We couldn't get into the car, and I'm not sure that the center console is even openable in this model, but it looks like it could have a good deal of storage in it. The center armrest seems cantilevered above it with a dial that will control screen features. They carry that same design element to the separated back seats, so passengers can control the screen and settings as well. Coming around the back, we see that fantastic taillight look, and what will be a long but fairly narrow trunk opening. But something tells me it'll fit a couple golf bags in it. Toward the bottom, the silver turns to black, and it almost looks like space for exhaust at the bottom of this EV. But it's a sharp look regardless. It's also part of a brilliant design choice as we come around to the side. The black composite wrapping around the bottom of the Precept hides the depth of the body, so you really only notice the silver. The geometric lines almost give it Lamborghini vibes, making it seem more sleek and sporty. A great optical illusion even when you're standing right next to it. Probably a way to hide battery pack depth, but it works. With the doors closed, these composite ledges look good and add to the design I love. But I'm skeptical about how they'll work in the real world. They stick out about 4 inches, and I could see them being real shin busters when the doors open. Or walking around it while the doors are open, catching pants or skirts or, again, shins. As a parent of an 8-year-old, I can easily see kids wanting to stand on that as they hang on the doors, which can't be good for hinges. Alright, I know this isn't going to be a family car, and there won't be a lot of kids playing around most of these, but I'm still wondering if the door ledges will make it to production. Not to stay on the negative train, well, more of a subjective train. Polestar does something that bothers me, but other people I talked to at the event loved it. Like their labeling of the vehicle, they also label every sensor and more around the car. To some it was clean, precise, and reminded them of an Apple store. To me it feels like the 1960s Batman show where everything was labeled Bat Computer, Bat Ladder, Bat Shark Repellent. Kinda funny, but it takes away from the otherwise clean lines. As an owner, I wouldn't need to know where all the sensors are, and the techs who service them can already find them. Okay, rant over. And remember, that's just my personal opinion. So where does that leave us? This is a concept that will undergo changes, but it's also a signpost of where Polestar wants to go. It's their concept for a halo car to compete with the Mercedes EQS, Cadillac Lyriq, Lucid Air, and Tesla Model S. Judging from their other vehicles, no matter what they change, it'll still look great and be very competent. Orders will start in 2024 with deliveries in 2025. Like all EV concepts, I'd like to see this in production sooner, but focusing on the more mass-market Polestar 2 and 3 in the next couple years is a better strategy and will get more people into EVs sooner. For now, we'll enjoy this beautiful piece of art and look forward to what the production Precept will bring. Thanks to Ross from Polestar Minneapolis and his team. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And thank you most of all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.